probably you're not going to need this stuff. And I don't want to tie that up when I put Realm or Terra back in the... You don't have Raise? We got to get you Raise. It's time. It's time to get Raise. And you're done with Gwallem now. Go ahead and take... Take the HP plus 10. Why not? HP is pretty good for everybody. Celeste has now broken 2,000 hit points. Alright, here we go. I'm kind of hoping that just the raw damage this party can put out will overwhelm this boss. And I don't see any problem with this. The only... I think Drill goes through defense too. So the only real weak link is Umaro, but Umaro's really strong, and I don't think this boss is going to be much of an issue. I know, famous last words. So Umaro just straight up absorbs ice because of his snow scarf. And if 77 fight damage is all this boyo can muster, then I think we're okay. But you can see that ultimate weapon starting to look real impressive. This is primarily for Edgar's benefit. I think if you roll all the same number on the fixed dice, you get a damage bonus. Like, you get another multiplier on top of the multipliers. I guess technically, because Umaro always switches rows in this fight, this is probably the single worst boss fight to bring Umaro to fight. But I wanted to play with my new character. He's kind of fun. For years I hated Umaro. I didn't see the point in him because he's... Yeah, like... You can't control him. He's not as fun to use, but his just raw power, you can't argue with it, really. And the better I got at the game and the more I learned that, like, holding turns was a viable strategy, and it's not always about just the raw damage you put out. Sometimes... Sometimes having a fourth character in the party who you don't have to control, who you know is going to do a pretty consistent, like, 1,700 damage or something, is nice to have. I just really wish we could give him Espers just for the stats. I mean, yeah, I would just give him Bismarck and leave him alone, but... See, even basically a kind of low roll on the fixed dice is about on par with the damage that we can put out with a regular attack. And we got 2 Behemoth suits, because we killed 2 Behemoths. So there's a pretty famous little glitch in the original translation there. Because the original translation, instead of saying, let's fly back to Thamasa, which I guess technically is the closest town to the Veld, although they kind of fly the wrong direction all the way across the world. The reason they fly to Thamasa is, even though they don't know about Shadow's past, which we're going to get a little bit of a glimmer of here, because they have to allow for having Realm in that cave, it's like, oh, we'll take Realm back to her house in Thamasa and let her rest up. We don't know at this point, I mean, we being Celeste and Umaro and all them, don't know that Shadow actually has a past in Thamasa. He is Realm's father. That's canonical, that's not fanwank, that's in the game, you can piece it together. Every time you stay at an inn with Shadow in your party, you have a chance to see a dream. And there are, I think, 5 dream sequences, and this is the 6th. And then the 7th dream sequence you can only see if Shadow dies and you rescue Realm. And if you put all 7 together, it tells the story of a train robber named Clyde who eventually becomes Shadow. After arriving in Thamasa, having a child, and then killing off his emotions, etc. Whoever you rescue, though, in the cave, in the older translation of this game, it said we should take her back to Thamasa, because I guess at the time, like, they didn't think of a wording to leave out the pronoun, and I guess at the time, they figured most players would kill Shadow and would rescue Realm. So they wrote the dialogue for Realm being in the cave. Let's take her back to Thamasa. But if you know anything about the game and you leave Shadow alive, then you know what? Thamasa's not the closest town to the Veld. That was stupid. Nikia's right there. Mobliz is destroyed. He doesn't count. But yeah, they should have flown him to Nikia. At least, unless they have like health facilities on the airship, which I don't believe they do. We're just gonna fly south now. Hey, look, that little tiny gubbin of land is big again. That's interesting. So what happened was, because nobody back in the day just decided, oh, it's just a little translation error, it's no big deal, they thought, oh, this must mean that Shadow is a woman. That was the conclusion that a lot of people reached. And somebody wrote letters to Nintendo Power. This is the Zone Eater. The Zone Eater is a monster that eats your party members. And an enterprising player might think, what happens if the Zone Eater eats all of your party members? But just in case they don't think that, I think there's an NPC in the game somewhere that explains, like in one of the random towns, that explains that there's something inside of the Zone Eater. So if Umaro does not kill the Zone Eater by the time he inhales everybody, there's a whole dungeon inside filled with treasure and something else. But we have to wait it out first. I would like to think, I mean, again, we had the strategy guide. Okay. I mean, that's fine. That's I guess he regurgitated our party members back. Maybe Umaro was not the best choice for this nonsense. What I'm going to do is have Edgar Kess stop on him, so he doesn't attack anymore. But yeah, we had the strategy guide. We knew there was a dungeon here. We knew it was inside the dungeon. We knew it was going to be important. Do you have stop? You have sleep. And you have stop. Oh, never mind. He's frozen now. He can't move anymore. That's good. That'll work. I kind of half expected him to be immune to that. But I would like to think that if I had played this game as an adult without the strategy guide, and an NPC mentioned the Zone Eater, that I would think, like, I would be creative enough to think, what happens if he eats your whole party? Is it a game over? And then in trying it, would go into this dungeon. They're worth a decent amount of experience. We got, like, 10,000 experience for that one Zone Eater we killed. So here we go. Dungeon with unique music, etc. And it's filled with the inspector guys. I don't know why these inspectors or train conductors or whatever they are in this dungeon. But we are going to let them knock us off this ledge here. Hooah! Because down here we get... I think this is where we get the red jacket. There it is. And the red jacket is equipment for one of the Figaro guys. And look at those stats. The Genji armor is better, except for stamina. But the Genji armor, I can put on him. The Force armor is probably better, though, to negate the damage, and so is the Minerva Bustier. So, if you don't have multiple Force armors, the red jacket is a good get. Now let's see if we can get through here without getting knocked off the bridge again. Again, I'm not really worried about the monsters in this dungeon. We should be perfectly fine. They still have silly names. Yeah, we're only taking less than 200 damage. Oh! Is that how it's going to be? Okay, and now I'm a little bit worried. Now I am actually somewhat worried. Oh, that's a low roll. Which you balanced out with a kind of high roll. Let's have Setzer heal himself. Okay, we need to run. We need to get out of here. He's zombie touching everything. Oh, we can't lose this fight. Umaro got blasted away. No, we should tough this out. We can't actually lose, because if it turns out that we do lose, which we just did, it's just going to warp us back out with Umaro in charge. See, guys, Umaro has our back. No problem. That's why I'm not worried about the monsters in this dungeon. Hashtag, no problem. Alright, we need this inspector guy to be on the other side. I don't know why they look like inspectors to me, but that's bad. Oh, how do we manage that? Ah, damn it. We almost got over there. I was jumped right on top of that guy, and everything was fine. You gotta get knocked off once so you can get the armor down there. Is this dancer gonna be as horrible as the previous ones, I wonder? Booty shake! My goodness, I didn't know Celeste swung that way. These things have more than 10,000 hit points, really? Incredible. That's bad. This could go south quick. We should probably take out the dancer first then. But now that... Let's do this. Now that he's invisible... This should hit him automatically. Like, he has no chance of evading that. Not that it did any damage, but... Okay, I'm at this point willing to admit these monsters may be slightly tougher than I was expecting. I think Umaro just threw himself at himself, is what happened here. But these guys can't hit us with magic, so... Why they turn... I guess they turn us invisible so their magic will hit us. I guess Vanish would be bad in that fight, because they're... Like ninja scrolls they throw are magical. Still doesn't have raise. No problem. We got... Phoenix Downs. I don't actually know where the Zone Eater dungeon falls in, like, the echelon of World of Ruin dungeons. Like, I don't know how early they kind of intend you to come here. It just seemed like the time was right to fall off the bridge for a third time. Employing Hermes sandals might actually be a good idea in this dungeon, come to think. Let's go ahead and see if we can... This booty shake is the thing that's really damaging us. Let's see if we can take care of that first. Yeah, that confusion is what's really tearing us up. But the chainsaw is the hero that we need today. So just by virtue of Umaro being pretty much immune to most forms of magic, without needing to tie up one of your other pieces of equipment, makes him a really, really good. Yeah, if we prioritize the booty shake, we can make the rest of it work for us. Presuming we can get Edgar back on his feet before this thing throws another scroll. My goodness, the man just woke up, Umaro. You think you might want to chill out just a little bit? Watch this. Watch the fixed dice here hit this invisible target with no problem. Oh my goodness! Is that changed for this version? That's changed for this version, right? I thought fixed dice would get around Vanish. You know what? It's no problem. It's not an issue. We got all kinds of magic we can throw at him. Let's throw Bio at him. Actually, Death would have been better. Let's see if we can banish him. Yeah, how about that? How about if you vanish yourself, we're gonna banish you. Sure, I'm vanished now. That's cool. Edgar learned Bio. He watched Setzer do it and thought, that looks like a lot of fun. But yeah, if they vanish themselves, Death is the way to go, because what if it's an auto hit. That's the whole point of that dragon thing I was trying to do. Alright, I need you to go all the way to the right. Thank you. So there's a relic for Realm that we'll never use that makes her mostly useless command very slightly less useless. This guy, I want to take him out first, I think. And Umaro's a zombie. I was hoping that Wart Puck would snort someone away. Look at that coloration on Umaro when he's a zombie. Like, his whole pelt turns sickly green, except for the top of his head, which retains its luster. Okay, so Umaro just threw Setzer at Setzer. Pretty much a body slam. Yeah, we're going to call that a body slam. Don't have any more potions? We got some potions. We'll just use up the rest of these. Drink up, guys. Alright, they put a save point here because the next room in the Zone Eater's belly has a map-based insta-kill on it. Like, this is safe. In front of that treasure box is safe. If you stand anywhere else, it's instant death immediately. Another hero ring, nice. And this is safe right here. And then I see where the next one is over there. Oh, it's not safe. Get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. We out of there. Alright, so hopping on treasure boxes. Fun times. So get a little bit of good treasure, but the real reason we've come down here is to hop on the treasure boxes, just because it looks fun. Another Thunder Shield. We got like 7 of those now. We got enough of those that we can safely farm Hoovers now. Hoovers are a desert animal that throw crazy wind attacks at you, and the Thunder Shield negates wind. So if you're floating and you've got Thunder Shields, they're basically just XP farms. And they show up in the same area as Cactars, which are little cactus creatures that give a lot of magic APs. So that's like the leveling spot of the game. You can get everybody to learn all the magic. And in the advanced version, there's a special prize you can get as well. So here we have famed Mimic Go-Go joining the party. A throwback to Final Fantasy V, which of course none of us knew because none of us had played Final Fantasy V. Teleport on out of the Zone Eater. And that'll be it for today, guys. I want to thank everybody for watching. Next time, maybe we'll give Go-Go some screen time.
Shoutouts to Josh Odom, who sponsored this video, and to everybody who makes my channel possible by supporting me on Patreon.